I'm hungry. I haven't ate all day. It's been a long day and I'm hungry. So, today I'm going to be cooking some something very simple, something very easy, something that does not take very long, something that is commonly known. And today I'm going to be cooking that meal to eat because I am hungry. So, I'm going to be cooking some, drum roll please. That's my drum roll. Boom, 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 boom. Some sloppy joes. Yeah, very easy, very simple. Probably takes 15 to 30 minutes tops. And I'm going to show you guys how to cook that. How to cook some good sloppy joes. Sloppy joes is very common, very easy recipe. A lot of you probably already know how to cook it, but if you don't, then watch this video and it's very easy. So, obviously, the very first thing you're going to need when cooking your sloppy joes is I got a pound of hamburger here. Now, you may need more pounds if you're cooking. Oh, it's upside down. Now, you may need more pounds if you're cooking for other people, but I'm only cooking for myself, so I only need a pound for this. You can get like 2 pounds or 3 pounds, however much hamburger you need, and you need, if you're cooking, depends on if you're cooking with more than just 1 pound or how many pounds of hamburger you'll need. 1 can will cover a Manwich original, will go for 1 pound of hamburger. But if you're cooking with like 2 pounds of hamburger, you'll need 2 cans of this. And then if you're cooking with 3, you'll need 3 cans, and so on and so on. But again, I'm only cooking with 1 pound, so I only need 1 can for the 1 pound. So I got the hamburger here, and I'm going to open it up, and I'm going to put it into our pan. Again, this is really easy sloppy joes, very common. It's a quick, easy dinner. Okay, okay. So I'm going to go over here. I'm going to put my hamburger into my pan as such. All right, so I got the hamburger on the pan. Need to set your stove to probably about medium. You don't want to set on high, because if you set on high, it'll cook way too fast. Medium is the perfect temperature you want to put this on to cook the hamburger with. Right about there is good. That's on medium. You don't want it to cook fast. Then you're just going to take your spatula and you're going to basically do the same thing you do with the hamburger spaghetti. If you watch that video, I just basically break it down into the hamburger into smaller pieces as possible, so that way it will cook mostly even all the way through the hamburger. You just want to, again, just try to get all the big chunks of hamburgers into small pieces. So you're just going to take your spatula, your fork, whatever you're using, and just grind it up here. Grind it up into little tiny small pieces. That's all you want to do. And you do want to leave your stove on medium, because if you have it on high, it's going to cook really fast, and then the hamburger won't get done. I mean, it will get done, but it won't cook right. And you want to cook it like kind of at a medium speed. So definitely go ahead and do that with medium. I'm trying to hold the camera here before I lose it here. Let me switch hands. My hand's slipping. Oh no. Okay. This is a whole lot better. Even though I'm right-handed, I'm going left-handed on this. So hopefully I'll still be able to break up the big pieces of the hamburger. It shouldn't take any longer than 30 minutes. Up 30 minutes top to cook this. Sloppy Joe is a nice go-to meal, especially when you're in a hurry, or if you just don't feel like cooking a big meal. I strongly recommend Sloppy Joes, and it tastes good. especially the way I make it. Which when we get there, I'll explain that. But for now, just want to break up your pieces of hamburger into little pieces. And you can see it's already starting to cook too. And the more you get it into little pieces, the little pieces will cook a whole lot faster also. So that's another reason why you want to go ahead and break down your hamburger. Okay. And you just want to kind of take your spatula or whatever you're using. You see this big piece right here. That's something we don't want. So I'm going to break into that. And you could just kind of eyeball this. No. Just see where all the big pieces are and just break into them. You want to try to break up your hamburger as much as possible. And it's cooking right at the rate of speed that I want it to. See, you see that big piece of hamburger meat right there? Now, I could leave this entire ball right there, but it's not going to cook through right all the way. So I'm going to go ahead and break that up into little tiny pieces of meat, hamburger meat. Always try to do as much as you break it up as much as possible. Little tiny pieces. I'm a professional, guys. I'm a professional. Let me split that piece right there, right down the middle. There we go. All right, it looks like we got the majority of it. I don't see any big pieces here. And as you can see, the hamburger is already almost done. So, make sure I got all the big pieces. That's good right there. As you see, I got the hamburger cooking. Now, since it's already at a point, I'm going to go ahead and turn my temperature down from medium to probably a little bit low so it can cook nice and even and slow. I'm going to stir it up, it'll help get whatever pieces that are uncooked right into the middle of the pan so it will cook real nicely. So you just want to stir it up. That is just cooking, You're going to need to drain your hamburger, not unless you got the type of hamburger that you don't need to drain, that don't produce any grease. But I got the hamburger that does produce grease, so I right here already got my drainer for the hamburger. So I'm about to grab the hamburger now. The hamburger only takes, really, guys, about 8 minutes tops. I mean, you can cook it for as long as you want to, but you got to be careful because if you cook it too long, then it's going to burn. And we don't want any burned hamburger in our Sloppy Joes. So we're going to take a look here. And yeah, it's just about done. You can take your spatula, get a handful of hamburger and just flip it. You don't really have to do that. Honestly, you could just keep moving it around, but it does help the cooking process of the hamburger because they will burn up if you leave them just sitting there cooking. So, take your spatula, whatever you're using, and just stir it up. And this is done. I'm going to turn off my stove for now. I will turn it back on later. I got my hamburger, so I'm going to grab my hamburger and I'm going to go ahead and pour it into the drainer. Like so. Hopefully I don't lose any hamburger. I shouldn't, though. Alright. Now, you see all that hamburger, but I am using one hand. So, just know that's why I'm some of the hamburger will stick to the pan. But there we go. We got our hamburger in the strainer. Put your hamburger in the strainer. And then now, again, guys, you just want to go like either back or forth or just shake it right over your sink. And you'll see, maybe I'll get some shots of the oil dripping there. I'm trying to get as much oil. A little bit of hamburger will fall into the sink, but that's totally fine. That's not a big deal. It's going to happen because you did the right thing and you tore up your hamburger into smaller pieces. But that's not really a big deal. Right there, my hamburger's good to go. I got that oil out. Now your pan will have a little bit of oil if you're using a hamburger that produces oil. But you could just go ahead and wash it out. Now you don't have to do that. But that's something that I do. So I'm going to go ahead and do that now. But again, you don't have to wash out your pan. It's just something I do. Just to try to get as much oil out there as possible. And it does help a little tiny bit. Just getting that oil up out of there. Not even much water. Really. Turn this off. Not even much water, really. That's totally fine right there. Now I got some of that oil off. So this has been in a drainer. Probably like no less than a minute. Guys, you leave your hamburger so it can drain out all that oil. And pretty good. So I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to dump my hamburger back into my pan. I do not have my oven on at the moment. You want to turn your stove. You do want to turn off your stove so your hamburger's just not sitting there cooking. But there's the hamburger. Now all we need is the manwich. And I'm going down here. I have my handy dandy can opener right there. So you're gonna 1 can of manwich. 1 can of manwich equals 1 pound. I'm gonna use my can opener here. Alright, so I got my can opener right here. Go ahead and open up this can. Alright. Got my can opener on there. Okay, that's gonna be good right there. My can opener opened up that. So I'm going to take this manwich. Okay. I'm going to take the manwich. Take the lid off. Now you will have some manwich on there. So I'm going to set that off to the side. I'll clean that up later. The countertop and I'll scrape that off. But you want to take your pan. Then you just want to pour it into the hamburger as so. Just try to get it as much out. But I got that going right there. Is my manwich on top. Got all my manwich out of the can and out from the lead. As you can see, that right there. You just want to pour it all over the hamburger. The manwich right there. It's all over the hamburger. Now what you want to do is you want to turn your stove back on. Up to high. Yes, up to high. Because you're trying to warm up the sauce. So you're going to take your spatula or whatever you're using and you're just going to mix like so. You just want to try to get every hamburger covered in the manwich. And wait, okay, yeah. And you want your stove on high so it will warm up the manwich. It's really not, it will cook the hamburger some, but mostly just the sauce because the hamburger is going to be covered in the sauce. So it's kind of like a protective shield from the manwich. That's saving the hamburger from getting totally burned. But if you have it on high, then the manwich will get really hot really fast. So I'm just going to mix this in here. Make sure the manwich is covering all of your hamburger. So you want to make sure all your hamburger is covered in manwich. And you're just going to stir like so. It's not going to take long at all for your manwich sauce to warm up. It's probably already warmed up, honestly. As you can see, it is starting to boil. Now, if you're cooking regular regular sloppy joes, this is probably going to be good right here. But I'm showing you guys my recipe. And hold on, let me turn the camera around. Okay, that's good. Alright. So, if you're only cooking regular sloppy joes, this is all you need to do. Then you can go ahead and put it on your bread or bowl, whatever you. I'm showing you guys my recipe. This is how I like to cook. I like to add a little extra flavoring. I'm going to go ahead and turn off my heat now because I don't need it anymore. But this is my recipe. This is what I like to put in my sloppy joes. It just makes the taste more explosive whenever you eat it. Now, normally I put an onion. Sometimes, not all the time. Sometimes I do it, sometimes I don't. But sometimes I'll take an onion, chop up the onion, and then put little pieces of onions in there. I know a lot of people do that. I know a lot of people who do that with their sloppy joes. But I don't have any onion with me. So I got the next best thing, which is onion powder. I'm not going to put a lot. I'm only going to put a little tiny bit just to give that onion taste to it. And it'll add extra flavoring to it. So it is going to add, again, that extra flavoring. If I had a real onion, I forgot to get one at the store, I would just chop that. All you have to do is chop that up and put a little bit of onion. How much onions you like, however much you like, don't really matter. Just whatever you like. But if you don't have any onion, then this is the next best substitute for that. It still has the onion taste, so you're still going to taste it. I'm going to go ahead, and if it comes out here, okay. I'm going to go ahead and put this a little tiny tab. I don't want it to overflow with onion taste, but I got to shake it a little bit hard. It looks like I'm pouring a lot, but I'm really not because for whatever reason, this onion powder don't come out right. So I know how much I'm putting in. Just a little tiny bit. Whatever's to your liking. That's good right there for me. I'm going to set that off to the side. And now there's one more thing. One more special thing that I do like to put in my sloppy joes. And that is brown sugar. Now, yes, I put in brown sugar because brown sugar brings out, it gives it a little bit of sweetness. And it just adds extra flavoring to it with the sweetness. Now, the thing is about putting brown sugar into your sloppy joes, you got to be careful because you don't want it too sweet. It can be too sweet, and not less how sweet you want it. You know, if some people like really sweet, I don't really like that sweet, but it does add that little extra flavoring. So I'm going to go ahead and find the brown sugar. And just looking now, I actually do have brown sugar. Okay, I didn't think I had any brown sugar. If you don't have any brown sugars, and if you want to try my recipe with the onions and the sugar, if you don't have any brown sugar, regular sugar is fine. You can just go ahead and just put, as much as you think that you will eat. You know, how much sweetness you like in your sloppy joes. And this is a really good recipe right here. I strongly do recommend it. But I got my brown sugar right here. I'm going to go ahead and put a little bit of brown sugar in the sloppy joe. Like so. You're not going to need it that sweet. You can go ahead and add just about as much as you want. Right here, this is totally fine for me. It's not going to be too sweet, but I am going to be able to taste the brown sugar. I'm going to go ahead and turn my oven back on high. I just kind of eyeball it, how much sugar I put in this. But now I'm going to stir it up all the way around with the onion powder and with the brown sugar. Extra flavoring. This is all this is for. Now this does take a little, like 15 minutes meal, but I'm recording, so it does take a little bit longer for me, but that's totally fine. I got on high. That's probably all the brown sugar I'm going to need. I'm probably not going to need any more brown sugar. I don't even have to taste it, although a good chef always tastes their food, so just keep that in mind. You can go ahead and taste it if you want. I do recommend that. Recommend that you give it a little bit of taste, and then if you want more sugar in it, go ahead and put more sugar in it. Again, it just all depends on how sweet you want it. So I'm stirring it up here, mixing up the flavors with the onions and the sloppy joe. This is going to taste really good. It smells really good. All right. I'm going to put that to the side. Now here it is. The final product. You can see it cooking. I'm just warming up the sauce. I'm making sure that brown sugar is melting. And the hamburger will absorb the brown sugar and the onion powder if you're using onion powder. If you're just using regular onions, then the onion flavors will still absorb it to the hamburger. But right now, that hamburger is soaking up all that sugarness. And it's going to make it really good, guys. Trust the process. Don't knock it till you try it. Now that's good right there. I'm going to go ahead and turn off our stove now because we don't need it on. The cooking process is done. We have everything that we need in there for this recipe other than a real onion. A real onion is better than onion powder, but onion powder is a nice substitute if you don't have an onion to peel for yourself. But that's the final product right there, guys. But right there's the final product. Oh my gosh, it looks really, really good. I'm really, really hungry. Let's not waste time. Let's go ahead and bite into this bad boy. Now, of course, I'm going to need some bread. I got my bread right here. I'm going to go ahead and make 2 sandwiches. And we're also going to put we're going to put cheese on, not that, but on one of the sandwich. Because somebody told me, well, if you're making sloppy joes, you should try some cheese on it. Now, I never, ever put cheese on my sloppy joe before. Have I heard of people doing that? Yes. Have I ever done that? No. So, that's going to be a new experiment. And I'll give you guys my honest opinion on whether or not cheese on sloppy joe is good. Honestly, it don't sound good to me. It don't even sound right to me. Why would you have cheese on the sloppy joe? But we're going to try it. Because again, don't knock anything until you at least try it once. It does sound kind of weird putting cheese on your sloppy joes. 4 pieces of bread out because I'm making 2 sandwiches. Okay. Now all you need is a spoon. Really, I mean, you can use just about anything to dig this out, but I do recommend the spoon. It's going to give you a good enough amount of hamburger on your. So right there, so I'm going to take some of this and I'm going to put it right here on my bread. And see, when I make up my sloppy joe sandwich, I just kind of spread it out like it was jelly or jam out to the 4 corners. Now, I know some people like a lot of meat on their sloppy joe. Me, I just like it to cover my bread from end to end. And I just kind of smear it on there. Like so, like it was jam or like it was peanut butter. Make sure I get the edge right here. I'm on it. Okay. See, that's good right there. So, I'm going to go ahead and close this up. Again, I don't need a lot of hamburger. I just need it to cover. And mostly it is covering. So I'm going to go ahead, seal that up. I'm going to go grab the cheese from the fridge. This is the one we're going to put cheese on. Don't know if it's going to be good, but we're going to try it. So I'm just basically going to rinse and repeat what I did to the first sandwich. And just come over here. Put that on and just smear it like so. Just as if he was making a BB&J. Again, I don't need too much. Maybe put a little bit more hamburger here. I don't even know if I want to waste this much hamburger. Because what if I don't like it with the cheese on it? Yuck. Alright. That's probably good right there. Alright, I got the piece of cheese. I'm going to put the piece of cheese right here. I don't know if I should probably melt. I don't know. I guess it don't matter. So, this one has... Oh, I need it. Okay, so this one has the piece of cheese on it. This one doesn't. This is my recipe. This is somebody who recommended putting cheese on it. But now we're going to try. Look at the sandwich dough. Nice, good sloppy joe sandwich right there. Pretty good. Oh, it is good, kind of hot, so just be wary of that. Now, this is mine without the cheese, so let's go ahead and try it without the cheese first. I know this is going to be good because I cooked this several times, so. One more bite for you guys. Mmm. We put just the right amount of sugar in it. It's not too sweet. And it's not very sweet. It's just like right in the middle, right perfect, right exactly where I want it. That's the recipe for the original, for my recipe on how you guys make some good, quick, sloppy joes. Now, I'm going to go ahead and try the bite with the cheese on it. Don't know if it's going to be good. I'm going to give you guys my honest opinion. Will I recommend it? I don't know, but let's just dive straight into it. The cheese has melted a little tiny bit, so here's the sandwich with the cheese on it. Let's go ahead and take our first bite, our very first bite of Sloppy Joe with cheese. Okay. I'm not taking another bite. That was absolutely terrible. Cheese does not belong on Sloppy Joes. At all. Cheese does not belong. I don't even know. That is nasty with the cheese on it. That's the first time I ate a Sloppy Joe sandwich and did not like it. Yuck. That cheese, I don't like it. I don't recommend putting cheese on your guys' Sloppy Joe. But if you want to try it, go ahead. Maybe you'll like it. But I did not like that at all. And I just wasted all that hamburger because there's no way I'm going to finish it. And the cheese, I think the cheese already melted into the hamburger. I'm probably going to end up throwing that sandwich away. I need to get that horrible taste out of my mouth. So here's a bite for me and for you guys for my recipe, which is really good. So Sloppy Joe with cheese on it is a no-go. Sloppy Joe without cheese is a yes, yes. So that's the recipe, guys. My recipe on how to make some delicious homemade Sloppy Joes. Follow the recipe. You guys will be eating some very good Sloppy Joes. Again, with the sugar though, you just gotta eyeball it really. That's what I do. And I nailed it. Like I always do. The perfect right amount of sugar. You can taste the sugar and you can taste the onions as well. But that's going to do it for the cooking video. You guys follow those recipes. You guys will have a good Sloppy Joe sandwich. I think that's it. Everything you need to know about cooking Sloppy Joes. And thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you so much for subscribing. Please don't forget to subscribe. Please don't forget to like. And I will see you guys in the next one.